Good morning again, Internet. As you can see, we are in Providence, Rhode Island. This is the Providence Amtrak train station. It's a cold January morning, about 20 degrees. Beautiful day though. Yeah, so we're gonna walk from here, Providence Station, which is a main rail hub here in Providence. And we're gonna walk behind that building down South Main. Yeah, so I'm just gonna walk through the station briefly. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, camera and train station. Even now, in 2022, it's still a little weird. Yeah, but at the station you have the Amtrak Northeast Corridor. It goes to New York City, Washington. You can get services to other places across the country, as well as the MBTA commuter rail, which weekdays goes to Wickford Junction. Weekends it terminates here in Providence. It goes all the way to Boston. It takes about an hour to get to Boston, about 4 hours from New York City. Get the Amtrak ticket window over there. Tracks 1 and 2. And tracks 3 and 5. It's the Cafe La France over there. Nice little coffee shop. I'd say avoid places like this. They kind of gouge you a little bit for convenience. But yeah, that's Providence Station, pretty much. All right, moving on. Okay, here we go. I'd recommend starting out with just walking out here to the Capitol. Pretty sweet building. I think it's around 1891 to 1901. It's the construction time of this building. I replaced the old State House, which we'll see on our Benefit Street tour. And over here you got the Providence Place Mall. You can walk down there. You end up Smith Hills up that way. Walking through the mall to the left, you end up downtown, and then crossing points to Federal Hill, which is another great place to walk, not too far from here. So yeah, so today we're going to go a little bit out of the way over here. And we're going to start at the National Memorial, the Roger Williams National Memorial, excuse me. Mind my speech. Sometimes I mumble a little bit. Sometimes I talk before I think, so just keep that in mind. If that's annoying, then well, I guess find some other form of entertainment. I don't know. I'm doing this for fun, and hopefully inspires people to get out and walk. But that's why I'm here. I like to walk around cities, take public transit places, and sort of leave the car at home, see what you can do. It's better for you, better for the environment. It's good stuff. Yeah. Not too much to see on this part, to be quite honest. But the state offices are kind of behind there. And we'll be taking this bridge here. Straight ahead, we'll be taking a right. Back. We just came not too far down Smith Street, took a right. Here's the remnants of the canal. Don't know the name of the rivers exactly. Sorry. But this sort of connects a couple of rivers down this way. This isn't the important Blackstone River Canal as I once originally thought. But that's over the Seekonk River to Pawtucket. Alright, know what? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. The crosswalk's over there. You do that, I'm gonna do this. I'm a bad boy. Don't be a J like me. Alright, we're at the Roger Williams National Memorial. So that greenhouse is the museum. I believe it's closed, unfortunately. I don't know, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think COVID closed a lot of places down. This place is still staffed by National Park Service, actually. Pretty neat. Straight ahead is Archdiocese of Rhode Island, the Episcopal Archdiocese.
I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
And, just everything that you did.
Here at this spot lived Gabriel Vernon, Huguenot refugee. Died 1736. Merchant. Yeah. So yeah, I guess where we are is North Main. Switches to South Main at I believe it's College Street up ahead. Along here is where the early city was developed, and a lot of the the early folks built their mansions around here along Benefit Street. That video will be coming up. We got a little remnant of an old street here. Pretty cool. Yeah, so around this site is where Roger Williams' original house was. There's another building on it now. Still quite an old building. For the life of me, I can't point it out from here anyway. And he was originally buried here. I think it was 1636. The Wellspring of Providence. (1636). Actually, 36 is when he first arrived in Providence. Excuse me. He was in exile from what I believe was the Plymouth colony. Either that was Boston, Mass Bay colony. He's kicked out for his different views on how the church should be run. So he moved down here. He bought some land from the Indians, I should say the Native Americans, the Massasoit. See this map here? This is how the streets were originally lined up by the landowner strips of land, all coming off of the main shipping port here on the South Water Street area. It gave every opportunity to farm and then bring their goods down to the water for shipping. Pretty cool. And then you'll find some of the street names. They're named after people who previously owned that strip of land from around here, South or North Main, back to where the Hope Street area is, up the hill. What was I saying? Yes, so Roger Williams purchased the land from the Massasoit Indians. Some say there was like a kind of a swindle because Native Americans, they didn't really value property as like a, well, they didn't really value the idea of property. They didn't really understand the idea of property as much as a like a European would in that sense, like in terms of deeding and financial, that kind of thing. So it was offered at a price, and they took it. So still kind of dark. But Roger Williams, he's a friend to the Indians. He wasn't necessarily a bad guy, as far as I remember. He's one of the first people who actually learned the language. Trying to accept these people as people. Hey, how about that? Not savages, just regular people. Katy Street here. All right, moving on. Yeah, so that's Roger Williams Park, or should I say, keep saying that. That's the memorial, National Memorial, National Park Service. Yeah, so we're now walking down North Main, heading south. Yeah, Williams died in 1683, and he was buried near here at that time. He was buried under an apple tree, and since over the years, you know, I guess that tree got cut down or something, but when they went to dig up the body to move the body in around 1860, they found little remains. What they found was a tree root in the shape of a body. Pretty weird. And they pulled that root out, they put it on display at the John Brown House on the Benefit, and they ended up burying the remains in I think part of that root or whole thing, I'm not really sure, at the new burial site at Prospect Terrace, which is up on the hill kind of behind us. Well, I was so busy talking about Roger Williams, so I walked right by it here. This is the old state house between North Court and South Court Street. There's a firehouse complex. Moving on. Alright, continuing down North Main, heading south. Behind us was the old state house. We just had to kind of fix that a little bit. We walked right by it. Jeez. But that brings up a good point. There's a lot of these places that people walk right by every day. Like, I didn't even notice that place until a couple of years ago. I used to walk by it every day. Unbelievable, right? Yeah, tattoos, burgers, a paint bar. Yeah, this area is largely occupied by RISD straight ahead, so it's lots of young people-oriented businesses. Over here to the left, you see sort of a beige wall, and then the steel sticking out the top. Well, this is where the old railroad bridge used to cross. It used to cross right above us here. And I'm not sure if you can see it from here. Not really. But up there is the west portal of the East Side Tunnel, which would lead to the Red Bridge, also known as the Crooks Point Bridge. And right here, this parking lot, the bridge will cross here, and then cross South Main over there. Or should I say, excuse me. And then right through where the Citizens Bank building is today. Yeah. Goes to show how much I know. Jeez. But yeah, that track used to lead over to the old Union Station. And it would hook up with the, what's kind of now where the current rail lines are as well. All that was redone in the 80s, 86 I believe. They built the Providence station and realigned the tracks, got rid of the bridge. Lots of great things happened in the city during that time. They uncovered the Providence River. Pretty cool. Up here is Thomas Street. You got the Fleur de Lis studio up there. I'll post a picture. Maybe walk by it a little later. Pretty neat building, I have to say. It's probably one of the most unique buildings in town. Alright, apparently this building here, so I know every town has first church, this is the actual first Baptist church in the United States. The first Baptist church, if you will. This building's a little newer, mid 18th century, but the congregation dates back to the time of Roger Williams, who actually founded the church. You know, I guess he founded the congregation first in America, at least. I'm not quite sure the origins of Baptist church. Don't know too much about religion, but I know they were more. Well, they started out as a more liberal church, at least compared to the Catholic Church, which was dominant at the time. Well, it started to change. This is around the time of the Reformation. New ideas start coming about, and the kind of new philosophies. Sort of ending up establishing sort of these, I don't know, churches that have like a sort of middle ground mentality. They're not quite as arcane as the Catholic Church. Kind of accept the new ideas. I guess it's a pretty good thing, but it sort of leads to a lot of different sects and divisions and such. And I don't know. At least it's open for more conservative churches even. People who think that the Catholic Church isn't conservative enough. And that's scary, I'll be honest. Right. This is Washington Place here and the start of Waterman Street. This is an old trolley tunnel. They now use it as a bus tunnel. Goes underneath College Hill, ends up on Thayer Street in the heart of College Hill. Thayer Street is someplace we'll walk soon. It's a sort of like a main street of I call it the main street of Brown because it's again, it's a lot of young people oriented places, a lot of restaurants, there's a theater. It's a pretty neat place, to be honest. A lot of great food. Pretty awesome. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a turn here, I think. But we're going to move on a little bit. We're going to take the RISD area. To the left is Studios Design Center here. Occupying some of the historic buildings in the city here. The brick building right over here to the right is the auditorium. And we'll walk down here. What the hell? I kind of wanted to get out to the riverfront for this part of the tour. I also love alleys. I don't know what it is. Like, I look down an alley, I'll make a judgment. I'm like, is that safe? Sure, let's take a walk. Cool. Alright, so we're now at the waterfront here. That's the Rhode Island Hospital Trust Company building. I got the name wrong in the last video, or one of the last videos, but that's what it is. It's one of the more older, beautiful buildings in town. Custom house there. And if you look back there, that's the Citizens Bank building again. Behind that is Providence Station, where we came from. Yeah, so now we're walking along the Providence River. Right here. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Tell me about it.
Alright, so I believe this is Market Square, they call it. Yeah, it's actually the old City Hall. This land was previously owned by a Chad, and he gave it up for the city for civic use and for a market here. This is where the original citizens of Providence would congregate. And the way I see this building is a lot like Faneuil Hall in Boston, where it's a civic building. A lot of things started here, like the Sons of Liberty of Providence started here. As a matter of fact, there was a tea party here in Providence as well. You may have heard the Boston one. But right along here on South Water, they gathered a bunch of English tea and set it on fire. And they met here. Yeah, pretty cool. And it served as a city hall for many years until the new city hall was built across the river downtown. Yeah. Over here on the left, pretty impressive building. That's the Providence County Courthouse. I do love this building. It was built in the colonial style. Maybe even Georgian style. I'm not really 100% sure. But it's a mix of classical and Georgian. It was actually built in 1920. It's not as old as it looks, but pretty impressive building. We're going to carefully cross the street here. Yes. And we're at this park here. Lovely park. I think it's called Memorial Park. Hence the memorials that are here. We got Korean War, World War II, the Holocaust memorials over there. I'm not sure what this giant one is. I'll find out in a few seconds. Civil War, I believe. That is something. Wow. It's pretty damn tall. Across the way there, that's down city. Behind that is the jewelry district. Yes, across here. There's a line of old buildings here. A couple newer ones, a lot like the courthouse, are built a little later. But one straight ahead is the Providence Bank building, I believe. The brick one with the curved top. Now the gray one over there, that's the old stone bank. It's a pretty awesome building in my opinion. It's one of my favorites. Pretty cool. Now where we're walking here, put it in perspective, like yeah, we know downtown's to the right, but one block to the left is Benefit Street. So what I like to recommend to people is like either you can start on Benefit Street and work your way down, or start here in South Main, walk the riverfront, and then turn around up here. I'd say a good place to turn around would be, well, you can go all the way to Wickenden if you want, get a coffee, get breakfast, a lot of great places. Or you can kind of turn around at maybe Dave's, get a coffee there, and just hit up that street, right up that hill, and then take another left. Yes, Old Stone Bank, 1819. Pretty cool. This is that Minecraft building I was talking about before. Any guesses why I call it that? Anyway. And there you got Hemingway's, famous place around here. Not my style, a little too rich for my blood. Over here is Cafe La France. We just saw one of them at the train station too. They're a local chain. I frequent one at the train station often, as I take the train often. Office of the Attorney General, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, so now entering, well, this is South Main. And to the right of us, one block is South Water Street. Just call it South Water Street because that's where the original shipping industry was. As you saw on that map earlier, where the land was plotted out. All the landowners will set their farms and bring their goods right down the hill, right down to the water. And then from there, they'll load the ships and send the ships to different ports across the colonies. And later you had the canal going all the way to Worcester, you had the railroads. That sort of developed and changed to where the port was, so. Yeah, it's a pretty genius idea actually. Just farm your goods, roll them down the hill pretty much. Load all the boats right down there. You might notice some buildings here that have what looks like doorways to nowhere. That's not a design flaw, that's sort of a sign of the past. They used to have a crane on the top and used to load up the goods up into the building on the different levels. Like that building over there, that's a behind that red house. It was an old warehouse. They'd pick up wares, they'd bring them up to the building. I think they call them counting houses. That's where they would count and weigh goods and offer fares to the ship owners, I suppose. I'm not quite sure how things got paid back then, but that's how it works. There it is again. That ringing bell, that's the church up there. We're going to look at that in the view. I believe that's the Unitarian Church. The first Unitarian Church, but not the first this time. Get a Wild Colonial Tavern. This is one of my favorite buildings, actually, because of the stonework and the brickwork. I'm going to post a picture of the back here. It's pretty sweet. One of my favorite bars. Like, it has a really nice atmosphere. Like, kind of what it sounds like, to be honest. Wild colonial. It's wild and it's colonial. Yeah, we got some nice stores here. A lot of local artists, their folk art and things like that. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice little shopping street. It does get overlooked a little bit, kind of by Hope or Thayer. Yeah, more popular places to go, to be honest. Yeah. So we're gonna walk up here a little bit, and then we're going to change direction. We're gonna end up where we were before, actually. If you walk all the way up here, you'll end up at that intersection, the Wickenden, South Main, Point Street, where we started before a couple times. The reason why I did that is because that's a good hub. Like, this is a good place to walk to, maybe pick up some breakfast at Wickenden or something, and then start maybe either India Point Park or go up to Benedict Street and check out some of the things there. Pretty cool. This looks like an old firehouse here, converted into a restaurant. That's pretty awesome. Some remnants of an old street here. And newer construction over here on the right. As well as those condos on the left. Those are interesting condos. I mean, they don't really fit the neighborhood that well, but I looked at one of them once. It was kind of affordable, not really for me, but a little too much. But there are opportunities down here, you know, it's not as bad people say. If you want to live in a nice part of town, it's expensive. You know, unfortunately, it's expensive because of the income. Like, a lot of people work at the university, or they're people who went to the university and fell in love with the city because it's an easy city to love, to be honest. Kind of drives it up a little bit. Well, anyway, this is a good place to turn around. You got Jeff's here, you got Plant City, get us something to eat or whatever. If you keep walking again, you'll end up at Wickenden, the corner there, you get coffee or something. All right, great. Thank you for watching. I hope this was at least somewhat entertaining, and have a great day.